Assalamu alaikum, dear students. How are you all? I hope you all are doing well. Today, inshallah, starting a new chapter of your CI syllabus, that is industrial development in Pakistan or industrial sector of Pakistan. Okay. Now, today's our end in mind is first we will be comprehending, will be studying, will be briefly will discuss the learning outcomes of chapter industries. Then after that, we will be describing the different terminologies, and then importance of industrial development and its impacts on Pakistan's economy will be discussed. Then we will be discussing different types of industries. And before all of these, we will be writing KWL in our journals. Now, let's discuss about first learning outcomes, right? These all are the expectations shared by CAIE that I will not read because these are details learning outcomes as you can see in your screen, right? Uh, I will be discussing in briefly what will be doing in this chapter industry, right? So in this chapter, we will be first introducing new terminologies to all of you, right? For example, and some of you must know about those vocabularies. For example, value added, for example, refined and processed goods, for example, primary, secondary, all, right? And then after that, we will be discussing for each and every industries, whether it's small scale industry and large scale industry, its location in Pakistan, where is it found in Pakistan on map, and then its byproducts, its input, output process, what are the raw materials they are using it in the industry, the problems that those are faced and caused by each industry, the processes those are involved in order to manufacture their product, that also we'll study in detail. And then we'll go for the solutions of their problems those are faced by those industries. We will be discussing it, and that all will do for each and every type of industry. Then in this chapter, we'll be studying about EPZs, export processing zone, industrial states, formal and informal sectors of Pakistan. We will be studying that also. And not only we'll be studying only primary, secondary industry, we'll be discussing, studying tertiary industries also in this chapter. Now let's begin properly this chapter. Now I am giving you time. You all have to write K and W part of your topic industry. K and W means what do you know about industries? W, what do you want to learn about industries? And L part, we will leave it and we'll be finishing at the end of our topic, inshallah. And I hope you all have completed L part for chapter power resources in your journals. Okay. Now, let's discuss the synopsis of this chapter. Like what else we'll study, right? Briefly. So the layout of this chapter should be there in your mind all the times, right? First, as I told you today also, in the beginning of the slide also, my today's end in mind is that I will be discussing about the importance of industries and types of industries, right? And then after that, we will be discussing factors affecting on the location of industrial location, then industry as a system. Then we will be studying different case studies of small and large scale industries in Pakistan. We'll be studying about cotton textile industry, cement industry, fertilizer industry, etc. And then likewise for small scale industry, if I'll give you example, that we'll be studying about brick kilns, we'll be studying about surgical instruments, sports industry, etc. Right? And then problems faced by and caused by each industry, and then we will be discussing solutions, sustainable development. How can we overcome those problems? That is the whole synopsis of this chapter. And then Let me add one more thing. When we'll be studying about factors affecting industrial location, here also we'll be discussing about industrial states, EPZs, and all. Formal and informal sector also we'll be studying and discussing. Okay, what is industry, right? Industry basically it's a sector, right? It is a sector which involves with manufacturing and production of different products, right, beta? Or another definition, if I'll give you for industry, a unit which involves in processing and manufacturing of products or goods. That unit is called industry, where the manufacturing and processing is involved, right, beta? Okay. Um, Now, why are industries important to us? Now we will be discussing each of these in detail. First is that is GDP and GNP. GDP is gross domestic product and GNP is gross national product, right? Whatever the earnings are being done within Pakistan, right? The profit or revenue is being generated with the manufacturing of any product within Pakistan, right? That revenue is considered as GDP, gross domestic products, right? And what is GNP? GNP, again, the nationals, the locals of Pakistan, wherever they are in their, they are in the world, right? Whatever the revenue is being generated by them, right? Whether they are sending remittance to Pakistan, whether they are investing in Pakistan while staying in any other country in the world, right? That all considered as GNP, gross national product, because Pakistan earns revenue in that uh, with that, right? Okay, so whatever the manufacturing products, let's talk about GDP, right? In Pakistan, whatever the industries are there in Pakistan and they're manufacturing anything, so trade happens, right? Trade means export and import, right? So we do export multiple products to other countries of the world, and then in return we earn revenue, right? Foreign exchange we earn, right? Here we will discuss, right? And not only foreign exchange we earn, right? We enhance, we establish foreign relationship also with other countries. Like we have example of China, we have examples of other with other countries also. Pakistan has very good foreign relationship, right? Okay, so when we have a very good foreign relationship, what happens in return? Those other countries, like if we talk about, as I gave example of China, Saudi Arabia, any Gulf state, Australian companies also, right? Any country in the world, if the foreign relationships are enhanced, right? So they might get interested in investing in Pakistan for any of the project, right, beta? Okay, that's when the investment is done. Not only that particular country gets benefit, government of Pakistan gets also benefit, and local people also get directly benefited from that particular investment, right? Okay. Now, second is job opportunities. When the industries are there in Pakistan, whether it's a small scale industry or a large scale industry, jobs are created, right? Now, I will be discussing different terminologies. The other important is also related to job opportunities. When job opportunities are there in Pakistan. Multiple job opportunities are there in different industrial sectors in Pakistan, right? So what happens? It reduces poverty, right? Unemployment rate gets reduced in Pakistan, right? And when poverty is reduced, right, what happens? The standard of living of people, it gets increased. It gets better standard of living. They go towards a better standard of living, right, beta? Okay, these all points are interlinked. Okay, then if the standard of living is good, then it comes under the social benefit, right? What are the social refers to the benefit that we as a nation we directly receive, right? Like you and me, right? If different industries will be opened up, right? For example, transport industry, for example, education industry, health and care industries, right? These all are industries, right? Other than cotton textile and all the agriculture industries also there, right? What happens? Again, I will link to this: job opportunities will be created due to that standard of living. People will earn their living, right? When they earn their living, they'll be able to afford many things, right? Especially if I'll take example here, they can afford education for their children, they can afford better health facilities for their family, for their children, right? and they can work for their well-being, right? So that is a social benefit, right, beta? And then if the government, they will open up different it's social in under the heading of social benefit, I'll discuss here. So government, if they earn revenue, they can open up different other than schools, other than roads, other than hospitals, they can open different parks, different playgrounds. They can work for dams, like we have example of Dyamir Bhasha Dam that is under construction, right? So these are, we are directly benefited from all these projects, right, beta? And that all happens when industries are flourished in your Pakistan, right? In Pakistan. And these all are basically when the due to with the help of industries, the Pakistan's economic status gets stable, right? Economic status I'm talking about, right? So government would be willing to invest in different sectors of Pakistan. They would be interested in investing in social welfare of their people also, right? So that is for entirely for us, right? Okay. Then if we talk about economic benefit, as I talk here, I have spoken about foreign relationship will get better if the trade will be enhanced, right? Government will be able to meet the fulfill the need of the its people, right? Not only that, it's for its different sectors in Pakistan, and then different multiple new industries will be opened up in Pakistan. And then in that result, what will happen? The economic status also will get stable, right? And we will be exporting to different countries, different industries also will be opened up and all. Okay, then again, due to that, political problems also will get resolved. Okay. Then another one is infrastructural development. I have already spoken here. That also linked with that social development. Like I have spoken about different infrastructural development will be there. Roads will be opened up. Different industrial states will be opened up, established in Pakistan in order to enhance our trade in Pakistan, right? The different incentives would be given for agricultural sector, right? Likewise, we would be able to, like if I will invest in mining sector, right, we will be able to utilize our own resources, right? Due to that also different infrastructure needs to be developed, as we have spoken in chapter mining, right? तो इससे क्या होगा, when we use our own domestic resources, local resources, the reliability of dependency of foreign resources would be less, right? So there'll be no import burden on Pakistan, right? We will, for example, if we solve our will utilize our own resources of alternative resources, as we discussed in chapter power resources, right? So there'll be less dependency on the import of oil, right, for electricity generation for our industries, right? So what would happen in this regard? We'll be able to, we will not there'll be positive balance of payment, and we'll be able to come out from our all these uh, financial crisis that we are currently facing in Pakistan, right, beta? And definitely industrialization would be there, as I have spoken, when the um, government will invest in this sector, right, industrial sector. Okay. I hope now you have understood the importance of industries. Uh, why are industries important? Why is it important to develop different industrial sectors in Pakistan? Now, I hope you have understood. Okay. Now let's talk about types of industries. We have divided industries in two basic categories. Under the two basic categories, first is according to function. According to function, the industries are divided into primary, secondary, tertiary, and one more you can add it here, that is quaternary, right? And according to size, industries are, there are three types of industries: small scale, medium scale, and large scale. Let's talk about according to function, right? What are primary industry? We have already studied about these three types of industries. What are the types of industries? I have taught in grade 9s, right? Primary industries are those industries those involved directly, they extract raw material from nature, right? For example, like we studied in grade 9 in agriculture, forestry, fishing, right? And then mining is also there. right beta? These all are examples of primary industry. Now what are secondary industry? Secondary industries are those industries where manufacturing and processing is involved. For example, steel mill, for example, cotton textile industry, sugar industry, cement industry, fertilizer industry. These all are the example of secondary industry. Then third one is tertiary industries. These industries are those industries those are involved in or those provide services to people, right? For example, for tailors, retailers, engineers, right? These all are example of tertiary industries, right? And then what are quaternary industries, right beta? Quaternary industries are involved in research and development industry. For example, IT is there, right? For example, IT specialists, scientists, these all are they all fall under the category of quaternary industry, right? Okay. Okay, now let's discuss the types of industries according to size, right? According to size, we have divided industries under three categories like small scale, medium scale, and large scale industries. Each and every, okay, let me tell one more thing for primary, secondary, tertiary, quaternary industries. These all industries are interlinked. Like, for example, if they are, we will talk about sugar industry, right, or sugar mills. If we talk about, they take raw material from primary industry, right? What do they do? Secondary industry, they only process that industry, right? And then tertiary industry, they involve with to provide services for wholesaling retailer, wholesalers, retailer, they all are involved, right? Likewise, quaternary industries, they all are interlinked, right? Now let's talk about types of industry according to size. They are small scale, medium scale, and large scale industry. Let's discuss each industry in detail. Let's talk about small scale industry first. Each industry, it has its own characteristics, right? For example, let's talk about small scale industries. Small scale industries are the one which the people those are working, or we can say the industry which are owned and run by individuals, right? And which employ a small number of laborers are called small scale industries. Like, that's a main, very simple explanation of small scale industries, right? Okay. As if we talk about the characteristics of small scale industry, it does not use modern technology. Very less capital investment is there. Skillful people are required. For example, if we talk about carpet weaving, right, that is one of the examples of small scale industry. So the skill is required to weave carpet, right, to make carpet, right? So in that they learn that skill from their ancestors, right? So in that the skillful people are required definitely, and the in small scale industries mostly family members they get involved in the work, right? Very limited output is being it's produced by small scale industries. It is home based also, and it does not cater to large markets, right? The small scale industry cannot cater to the large market. And then in small scale industries, the quality standards are not maintained. International quality standards are not maintained because they don't use modern technology. Okay, in small scale industries, fixed timings are not being followed for work. The examples of small scale industries are handicraft, jewelry making industry, pottery making, khussa and Peshawari chappal. All these are the examples of small scale industries, right? Now let's talk about medium scale industries. The industry which employ neither very large or small number of laborers are put in the category of medium scale industry, right? Like cycle, radio, television industry, and all these are the examples. Now let's discuss the characteristics of medium scale industry. Like, it uses modern technology, but not to a very large extent, right? It is organized into firms or companies. A very small companies or firms would be there. In that they would be working. And if the capital investment exceeds from 1.2 million, right, and then only it will fall under the category of medium scale industry. If the investment is less than 1.2 million, that would be under the category of small scale industry. If it exceeds from 1.2 million, then that's just a criteria, right? Then it will be considered as medium scale industry, right? Now let's discuss about large scale industries. Industry which employ large number of people, definitely, and they are considered as large scale industry. Okay. What are the characteristics? The land coverage is more, right? Large scale industries, they cover a huge, they need a huge area to be covered, right? For the establishment of the industry. For example, if you see cotton textile industry, right, that's a major industry, principal industry of Pakistan. Then high-tech machinery, sophisticated machinery is being used in these industries to enhance their quality control standards and to enhance the to increase the output of their from their industry. Skilled laborers are required. It caters these all large scale industry, they cater to large market, right? Internationally and national also, within Pakistan also. Output, again, it is in bulk. Bulk means it's huge output is there. For example, if we'll talk about steel mill, sugar mill, cement industry, right, in Pakistan. Fertilizer industry is also there, one of the examples. These all are the characteristics of large scale industries. Okay. That was it from my side for today's blog. I hope you have understood the differences between what are the difference between primary and secondary. What are the differences among primary, secondary, tertiary, quarterly industry? What do you mean by small scale, large scale, medium scale industry? Why our industry is important for Pakistan's economy, right? I hope you have understood all these, right? Let's stop here, and inshallah, I'll come with another recording for the other topic of this chapter. Right, beta? Allah Hafiz from my side.